And we are live with another edition of Let's Talk Broncos with your host, Kurt Valenti, and special guest this evening, Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. Welcome, fellas. Before I get to you guys, I just want to wish everybody who celebrated Christmas a belated Merry Christmas. I feel like I haven't been live in quite some time since All In ended. And those celebrating Hanukkah, a happy second night of Hanukkah. Kwanzaa's first night this evening for those who celebrate that, and any other holidays that I may have missed. So happy holidays to all, and welcome, Kurt and Kenny.
Hey, thanks, Jen. Want my intro first, Kurt? Because you're a little quiet over there. First, I'm surprised.
Kurt, speechless, Kurt. For the
first, if I may,
go
let me wish both of you and your families Merry Christmas, and everybody else out there. I was working, for those who don't know, I work at a hospital. I do want to shout out all the people that work in the hospital, nurses, doctors, taking care of everybody and sacrificing, missing Christmas with their families to help people in need at the hospital. So shout out to all of them. And again, Merry Christmas to both of you. And thank you for inviting me tonight. Kurt, I'm putting you on the spot right now before the show even starts. I'm a Giants fan. There's no Giants show until the season probably ends. You're going to be our first guest after the Broncos season, so we can talk Giants and what the Giants are going to do, because right now we have the number one pick, and let's hope we can stay there.
Sign me up. I want to echo both of you guys. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays for everything else. Happy Hanukkah. What was the other one you said, Jen?
I did say Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa. So everyone that celebrates. Hope everyone had a good Merry Christmas who had Christmas. And I didn't let this bother me. And speaking with Kenny, and I said, I definitely did not want to do a show, Jen, before Christmas to ruin the Christmas spirit. But I'm telling you, I am fired up. I am ticked off. I am enraged as a Bronco fan because we'll get into it. But what I saw last Thursday is what I saw 2 years of as a head coach, another year as a defensive coordinator, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I'm going to be honest with you right now, guys. I am petrified of what I am going to see on the defensive side on the field on Sunday.
Don't say too much. Don't say too much, because I have a little something. I have a little something I want to lead into. For those of you who are maybe just tuned in or caught Kurt mid-mini rant, he's referring to Vance Joseph and the defense performance. But let me get a few comments in. We have Michael saying hello. He's saying good evening, Kurt, Jen, Kenny, and Go Bo Broncos. Clayton checking in, saying hey guys, and Merry Christmas. And he's asking, is Moss back?
That's the word on the street, and that I know Kenny's going to give me that's the key, and hopefully he is, because if we have to play without him, it's even going to get uglier. But the word is right now he's been a full participant, so let's go.
So our first topic, Kurt, is going to be, Clayton saying, well, it's time to run, right? Which is another topic this evening. So
yeah. Oh, yeah.
We'll definitely return to that as well. But our first topic, Kurt, I'm just going to give the topic, Kenny. Don't comment just yet, because I have a little lead in I'd like to do with you for this. But the topic is going to be, what does Vance Joseph need to do defensively to slow down Cincinnati? I'm sorry. Are you concerned about the last 3 or 4 games defensively is our first topic, right? And meaning, are you concerned about Vance Joseph? So as a lead in, Kurt and Kenny, I have a little game here. It's called, do you keep Vance Joseph? You're just going to answer yes or no. I'm going to give you a scenario, okay? Kenny, I would like you to answer first, if you don't mind. Number 1, do you keep Vance Joseph if you beat Cincinnati with a strong defensive performance?
100% yes.
Okay. Kurt?
No. I mean, I got to see.
No, yes or no. Just a yes or no. That's it. That's
No.
all you get.
No.
Okay. Do you keep Vance Joseph if you beat Kansas City at full strength in the last game of the season? Kenny?
100%.
Kurt?
No.
All right. Do you keep Vance Joseph if you get a you make the playoffs, obviously, and get a first round playoff win? Kenny?
100%.
Kurt?
Possibly.
That wasn't an option. It's yes or no.
Yes, because you know why? It's probably going to be
Just yes or
Buffalo.
no. Just yes or no. Play the game. Okay.
This is what I go through on K&K, Jen.
Yeah.
Now you're getting it's fun.
All right,
I like
ready?
this.
And the last one. Do you keep Vance Joseph if Rex Ryan is available and says he will only return to coaching as the Denver DC?
Now I got to pull a Kurt, Jen. Does this count? Is there the same scenarios? If does he win all these games, or
either or? Yes, no, maybe so. If Rex Ryan is available, are you dumping Vance Joseph? No matter what, they could win the Super Bowl.
No, I'm keeping Vance Joseph.
Kurt, are you keeping Vance?
Unless Lombardi number 4 comes into the trophy case, give me Rex Ryan. Sorry.
I love this. We got Jody saying, hell yes, pass on Rex Ryan. Meddy Murphy saying, get him, Jen. Jody Moncrief saying yes to the keeping him with a first round playoff. Get the heck out of zone. Get the heck out of zone, he's saying about him. We got Eddie Murphy checking in, saying, good evening, gentlemen and Jenny Hoops. Happy holidays.
What's up,
and Clayton saying, with Moss back man to man and mixing up lifting again, time to get to business on defense, baby.
Oh, wait, hold on. Breaking news. Eddie, if you're watching, I want to sincerely thank you. Jen wants to sincerely thank you. And Kenny wants to sincerely thank you. Thank you to you and your Brooklyn Nets for just giving us Mikal Bridges after yesterday's performance. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you.
Congratulations to Eddie playing in fantasy football final against you.
Yeah, me and Eddie going at it.
Oh, let's see what you guys think of this one. He's saying he takes Salah if Joseph is out.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Kenny, how about you?
Yep.
If Joseph is out,
Joseph is out. Okay.
Yes.
That's the contingency there, right? Okay.
Yes.
Nice. Thank you for the comments, everybody. Love them. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Jody saying, let's blame Peyton for not fully committing to running the ball with Estime.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a part.
All right, well, let's get to, now that we played our little do you keep Vance Joseph game, let's get to the first topic here. Are you concerned, and audience, please chime in, of course. Kenny, I'll go to you first on this. Are you concerned about the last 3 or 4 games defensively for the Broncos? Do you think there's reason for concern, cause for concern?
Yes, I do. I do think there's reason for concern. I speak to Kurt. I speak to a lot of the Denver Bronco Roundup guys. My reason for concern, Jen, is that I feel it's concerning because you don't have depth on defense. You lost Riley Moss. You started to see the defense really play bad. But who did you lose before that? And what's another position not playing good, Kurt? The linebacking cores. Cody Barton and Stranad have not looked good in the last couple games, Kurt. And who did you lose? You lost Singleton. That was a cause of concern at the beginning of the year, the linebacking core. Those are the two. I can't blame Vance Joseph for lack of depth on defense. These guys would not be starting on half the defenses in the league. Levi Wallace got cut. Look at his performance against the Browns with Jerry Jeudy. So, yeah, I do have concern, Jen, but it's not Vance Joseph's fault.
Kurt,
I'm going to disagree.
Concerns.
Jen, first off, let's be real. I don't want anybody to tell me we're a top 5 defense in the NFL. No, we're not. No, that's why stats mean nothing. On paper, maybe. Top 5 defenses don't do what you did against the Chargers. First off, you got to give me a second to rant here. First off, I've said all on the show for this whole year, we don't have offensive weapons, right? I wouldn't take one Charger weapon, one, over the Broncos. They've got nothing. Maybe what's his name? McConkey. Nothing. They're terrible, right? What was his game plan? What was his game plan Thursday night? Listen, I don't know what he tried doing. Then he's going to switch up 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Why not wait till Friday? What are you doing? What are you doing? I am so sick of him. Well, the offense tried. You got Pat Surtain. I don't care what Zach Taylor draws up. He better be locked on Jamar Chase. I don't want to hear, well, they confused us with. That's your job. That's your job. You have 10 days to figure out, because they're not just going to line him up on the right and say, cover him. They are going to move him around. I know, everybody knows that. They are going to move him around. What is your answer to that? What is your answer so we don't have Mathis on Jamar Chase, and then Jamar Chase is doing what does he do? The gritty. Well, what is your answer? What is that answer? Because I don't have any faith in him. Any. And what I saw, I blame Sean Payton for one thing this year, Kenny, and I said this to you off the air. They were down 3 points, 4th and 3 from about midfield. And he said, you know what? I'm going to punt it to you, Vance. Get us good field position and get the ball back. Well, we got the ball back. The problem is we were down 10 because he gave up a touchdown. Never again. I don't care if it's 4th and 9. Go for it. Why? Because I'm going to go, and I'm going to go down with Sean Payton, then give that guy the ability to put the game in his hands. Absolutely not. I am sick of it, Jen. How many times did we see it when he was the head coach? You give this guy the lead, and he gives it up. I don't want to hear, well, Bo Nix is a rookie quarterback. Bo Nix scored over 20 points on the road against the Chargers. Deal done. Twice he gave them a 11-point lead. That game's over with a top defense. Over. I don't care what Bo Nix could take 3 knees and punt it. Top 5 defense against that garbage offense? That's a joke. I am petrified of what I'm going to see on Saturday. Petrified, because 2 things. Number one, the only way we're winning, we better put up 40. Because if you're a top 10 defense, Jen, and you know what? I want you and I want Kenny to answer this. You are a top 5 defense. This now, Jen, this is considered almost postseason play, right? Like, this is a playoff game atmosphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not 40-35 in the postseason. If I want Sean Payton to put up 21. So hold him to 20. Listen to me. Anything less than 21 is on Sean Payton. Anything more than 20 is on Vance Joseph. I don't want to score. I don't want to see 38 points, and I don't want to see BS excuses. I'm telling you right now, I am sick of this guy. I am sick, because you know what? Rex Ryan would not allow it. He does nothing. I am petrified about Saturday afternoon defensively. Petrified.
Jen,
All right, let me get a couple.
Yeah, please get the comments. I just wanted a quick hitter question for Kurt, if I may.
All right, let me get a couple of these comments in here. I want to go back up here. I'll come back. Eddie had a good question for you, Kurt. I want to come back to that one. We got Zoli checking in, saying, good evening, Kurt, Kenny, and Jen. Not happy after the Chargers lost, but let's move on to Cincinnati and get that playoff spot locked up. Kurt, you had mentioned that none of the defense would start in another team on the NFL. Eddie Murphy's contradicting there. He said they'll probably start on the Giants. Michael is saying he's also concerned about the Broncos defense not having any depth. He's also saying that the Broncos defense is better with cornerback Riley Moss playing, and they're really not doing as well with him not in.
Well, you know what, Jen? I want to just
which gets back to his comment about the depth.
Okay, I want to start this with you, though. I rattled on for 10 minutes. What was I right and what was I wrong with, Jen?
Hold on, let me just. We got Wayne checking
What's
in,
up,
saying
Wayne?
good evening, Jen, Kurt. Yeah, he's saying what the F happened to the defense. Geez, and Zoli saying momentum completely shifted when they screwed up running the clock and gave up the free three at the half. Fell asleep for the second half. Nix barely underthrows Mims. That could have turned the tide. It's really those it's so true. Those little plays that change the complete. We always say this: the landscape of the game. I'm sorry, Kurt. What did you want to ask?
I want to go to you and Kenny. I'm going to go to you first. I just ranted for 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
What was I right? Where am I wrong?
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to be honest. You've always been down on Vance Joseph, and as soon as he does anything wrong, he's your scapegoat. I'm going to be completely honest there, right? So I'm not saying you're wrong here, but you can't say Rex Ryan wouldn't stand for this. You don't know what Rex Ryan would or would not be doing. It's very easy to say that wouldn't happen. You don't know that. So I'm going to say this. After you wanted Vance Joseph gone after, what was it, the Miami game last year? And you know what? He bounced back, right? So let's give the guy a chance. Let's see what happens, okay? It's a total team effort. Total team effort.
Kenny?
Again, your run game, non-existent.
Yeah.
Problem.
Great point.
You don't have again, Clayton made a good comment here. They need, and Kurt, you and I talk about this all the time. You guys need another wide receiver. Listen, Sutton is not a number one wide receiver. Bo Nix is making him better, right? You do not have a tight end, and you do not have a number one running back out of all the running backs that you have, right? So it's easy to unload on the defense, but really, you don't have anything offense. In the beginning of the year, you couldn't put up points, right?
So why I said this the other day, and I say it in our group chat, whenever this season ends, however it ends, we have to go shopping. We cannot stick develop this guy. There's no more developing. We're not going to get where we want to get with second and third, 6th round picks and 7th round pick. That's going to get you to level B. We want to get to level A+++. We got to go shopping. Major changes need to happen. It's not a little feel-good story anymore. Little feel-good stories don't win championships. We need major changes, and you just nailed the positions.
The Eddie Murphy saying the way you rant, you think your game's on a 10-game losing streak. Wayne's with you. Vance Joseph is a joke. And Michael saying that Vance Joseph plays too much zone and not enough man. Kenny, your response to Kurt's rant.
Okay, I got a couple ones for you, Kurt. Now, in my opinion, nobody's given Justin Herbert credit for the performance that he had on Sunday. He played like a franchise quarterback that Thursday night game. The last touchdown throw and that 2-point conversion, not too many quarterbacks make that play. The second one, none of those balls were thrown at PS2. So it was your backup secondary once again that was getting burned in your linebackers. And now, like Jen said, Vance Joseph is your scapegoat. How about these 3 games? Jets, where your defense only allowed 9 points. Yeah, it was raining, but you only gave up 9 points. At that time, Aaron Rodgers was going to the Super Bowl when you had the Jets going to the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, your best performance of the year. Your defense only gave up 7 points in Tampa Bay when that team was on fire at the time. Okay, they didn't have Evans or they didn't have Godwin in that game, but 7 points. Defense is on fire. And the Chiefs, I still count that game as a win. Vance Joseph's defense put your team in position to win that game in Kansas City. That's 3 games. There's probably more I can write down, but you're giving this guy hell because of a couple bad games with a lack of depth. Like Michael said, the defense has a lack of depth and you lose a couple players on defense. It shows. All right. It showed in the Browns game and it showed in the Chargers game. And you want him out already because of 2 performances. Well, how about those 3 performances that his defense put up?
Again, I understand listen, no team is perfect, right? But give me a plan. Like Jen, I know we're going to get into this later, but Saturday, 4:30 Eastern, it's supposed to be raining in Cincinnati, weather, right? Listen, pin your ears back, Surtain on Chase, double team Higgins, and go get that SOB Burrow. Just go. Get him. I don't want to see scrambling. Get him. Listen to me. If he hits with Gesicki and they tip your hat and say, Coach, you're better. But don't sit in the zone, Burrow. And then in the 4th quarter say, oh, we're going to blitz right from the get-go. This is what we're doing, just like they did. Because that's what they did versus Rodgers, Kenny. That's what they did. The whole game. Here we come. Bang. 5, 6, 7. The whole game. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. I don't want to score 30 points offensively. That's not how you win these games. We need 21. The problem is, are we going to give up 38? That's the problem. That's the problem. Have a plan. He doesn't have a plan. His plan should be Surtain on Chase. We're going to double up. Listen, even if Moss is there, we're going to double up Higgins. And you know what? You tip your hat. If your number 4 is better than my number 4, that's it. But I do not want Jamar Chase lined up against Mathis and just seeing him 50 yards. I don't want to see it. Because it shouldn't happen. You have the best corner in football. You know how many defensive coordinators would kill for that? And say, lock him. But we don't do it. Oh, Surtain stays on the left. So they put Chase on the right. Well, I mean, how stupid are we? How stupid are we? That's why I'm excited. Have a plan.
Well, let's get into that. Eddie has a question. I'm going to answer this one, Kurt. He's saying, do your neighbors have soundproof walls or do they understand, right? I'm going to answer that. No soundproof walls. And Kurt is more concerned about the dog barking. He doesn't even realize like how loud he is. I actually have it in like stereo right now. I can hear you. I'm all the way on the first floor. Kurt's on the third floor and I'm getting it like echoing in here. He's so loud, ranting. So yeah, there's that. Nope, our neighbors, I don't think they have soundproof walls, nor do they understand what's happening here. So Kurt, let's get back. That's a great segue into the next topic, right? Speaking of Vance Joseph, right, and the concerns about the defense, what does he need to do defensively to slow down Cincinnati this week? Actually, you know what, Kurt, let's give Kenny a chance to answer. And of course, everybody in the chat, throw out your thoughts.
Well, I do agree with Kurt on one point, Jen, for Saturday's game. You got to lock down Chase. And how do you lock down Chase? PS2 has got to be on him, both sides of the ball, like Kurt said. I am concerned T. Higgins is better than Riley Moss is back, but give him some help. PS2 on Chase. Let them run the ball. Okay, you should be able to stop the run with your front 4 and get some pressure on Joe Burrow. I am concerned about your linebackers, so you may see Gesicki, but like Kurt says, I do agree with him. I can't believe I'm agreeing with him. Let Gesicki and their number 3, what's the other guy? Yasovich.
Yeah.
Yasovich. Let him beat you and let Gesicki beat you, but make sure you lock down Jamar Chase. I think I read something last time they faced each other. He had 3 yards and 1 catch on their one and only meeting, Chase and Surtain. So I know you're probably not going to see 1 catch for 3 yards, but keep him out of the end zone and consider it a victory and go get that win on Saturday.
Kurt?
Just from the get-go, have a mentality of Joe. And again, I love Joe Burrow. I think he's fantastic. But you know what? We're coming to F and get you, man. We're coming to get you. From snap 1, not from third quarter when you're down 21-10. From the get-go, go get them. Bad weather, rainy. You know what? Here we come. Surtain, we're like Kenny just said, don't throw to him because we got Surtain on him. And now we just manage that field. But we're going to come. We're going to hit him. We're not going to let him scramble. We're going to spy him while he's doing it. Someone's going to spy him. Not Justin Herbert. How many third downs did he run for? Have a plan, but be aggressive from the get-go. Go get him.
Jody's saying that Burrows has been sacked 14 times in the last 5 games. I agree with you, Kurt. When you guys come out aggressive, when Vance Joseph's defensive plan is aggressive from the get-go, I feel like it just sets the tone, and you guys do much better, the whole game. I mean, it's just noticeably different. I want to shift gears a little bit, and I want to shift to Bo Nix. The first question is going to be, since we're talking about the next game against Cincinnati. Let's talk. Oh, we got Trevor checking in real quick,
Trevor?
saying hello, Kurt, Jen, and Kenny. Great to see you all. Hope everyone had a great Christmas. Thank you, Trevor.
Same
you
to
too.
Trev. Same to you.
So let's talk about Bo Nix and the last 2 games of the season. But before we do that, I have a little lead-in question for you two, and of course from the audience. Kurt, you're a Bo Nix fan, right?
Yep.
You've used the term franchise quarterback, correct?
Yep.
Kenny, you're all aboard the Bo train?
I'm on the choo-choo Knicks train, yes.
Okay, all right. And we've talked about him a lot. I'm not, and Trevor, great timing hopping in, because I feel like Trevor and I share this opinion that we're not willing to use the word franchise quarterback because we haven't really seen enough of him. And here's my question for you two. How can you be sure that Bo Nix will not have a second-year NFL outing similar to what's happening with CJ Stroud?
I'm going first, Jen, or is Kurt?
Sure, yes, let's go to you. You're our guest, Kenny. You're up first on these.
I wrote that in my notes. CJ Stroud struggling, Bo Nix, just so on the same page. I was going to ask Kurt that too. It does have me a little concerned. And there was a famous movie back in the day called Throw Mama from the Train. Well, Kenny might get thrown from the train because I am concerned about one thing. I'm not concerned about Bo Nix's, short to mid throws and his game management, but we would not be having this conversation, in my opinion, about the Chargers and Vance Joseph if Bo Nix hits Mims on that deep pass, or even gets it where it's somewhat in the area where it's a pass interference, because the Broncos would have scored at least 3 there, probably a difference in the game. But Bo Nix looked absolutely terrible on that throw, and it has me very concerned about his deep throw ability. I know we've seen some good ones, but Sean Payton's a smart man. I believe he'll change the play calling and stop throwing the ball 40 yards downfield when it's unnecessary. So
Jody Moncrief mentioned that in a comment earlier that Bo Nix is 5th in the NFL in passing, and that concerns him as a rookie. So great point, right? So
great point.
Eddie Murphy saying Bryce Young is having a good second year after being benched. So the NFL is crazy. True, but the sophomore slump is real. The sophomore slump is a real thing.
It is,
so
and I'll just pass it off to Kurt. I'll just say I am a little concerned about his deep throw ability. Sean Payton, you don't need to throw 40 yards downfield when it's unnecessary. That's what I'll leave it at.
Kurt,
listen, you have to be concerned about everybody, right? I mean, everybody. You can, just a year ago, people were saying, should Buffalo move on from Josh Allen? Is Josh Allen not the real deal? I mean, you got to look, and you just got to, no one's perfect. There's no quarterback that's ever been perfect, right? I mean, you could look back at the greats and say, so-and-so had a bad year. This guy had a bad year. He doesn't do, nobody does everything right? Like nobody is the perfect quarterback. So you can't just look at it and say, Bo Nix doesn't throw the deep ball good. Bo Nix doesn't do run good. Bo Nix, the thing is, again, why I'm not concerned about it is because of the head coach we have in Sean Payton. Okay. Cortland Sutton will not be our number 1 receiver. We will have a legit tight end. We will have a number 1 legit running back. We are going to go shopping. We are going to spend in free agency. We're going to draft players. We're going to move draft picks and acquire people in trades. I mean, that's what we're going to do. It's just, you could see it. You hear just listening to some Denver, like Javonte Williams is done as a Bronco. He will not be a Bronco next year. And he shouldn't. He shouldn't be a Bronco. We have to upgrade there. So I am confident. I mean, I've seen enough, again, even with games left in a playoff. And it's why it's so important to get into the playoffs this year. Get that playoff game under his belt. Let him understand it. You need to do it. But when you get to CJ Stroud, I mean, Bo Nix is a better quarterback than CJ Stroud. I was never on the CJ Stroud bandwagon. All these people, oh my God, look at it. Listen, they were frauds last year. They were a very lucky team last year. They were, Kenny, I'm not no disrespect to your Giants, but they were almost like the Giants from 2 years ago, where just everything went right for them. I mean, look at that performance at home, Christmas Day against the Baltimore Ravens, and that's the performance. What was the final, Kenny? Yesterday, 34-2. That's the performance. That's disgraceful. I mean, I'll be honest. Remember, everybody, what's the coach's name? I can't even think of his name. Kenny.
Who, the Texans coach?
Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah. Oh my God, coach of the year, best coach. Listen, he'll probably be out by next year. Listen to me. Take Sean Payton over him every day to the bank.
Wait a minute. You liked him.
He
was a candidate.
Mm-hmm.
He was a candidate. Yeah, I mean, he was a candidate, but
that you liked.
Looking now, though,
don't throw the guy.
No. But looking now, they were, again,
that's not a fair analysis.
They're a fraud team. They are not listen to me. They are nowhere near a championship contender. And if you said to me right now, you could have Bo Nix or CJ Stroud, I'm taking Bo Nix. It's not.
Well, Jen, if I may, this is going to lead. Oh, sorry. You go first, Jen. Then I got something I want to say to Kurt.
I would say, I'm going to be honest. Even if Bo Nix has like a sophomore slump type of season next year, I feel like I'm like kind of expecting any rookie quarterback to kind of have that dip a little bit. I think I've seen enough of him this season that's promising to not be concerned about that he has to get through that possibly, even if you do surround him, like Zoli's saying here, right? Like they need to get weapons around him, right? That type of thing. So, I even if it happens, honestly, not that I'm saying he's the franchise quarterback, but I think he's given you enough to feel good about him, even if he has a little bit of a down year in comparison next year, if that makes sense.
It does, definitely. I wanted to
Go
just
ahead,
say
Kenny.
to Kurt real quick, don't put your foot in your mouth, Kurt, because this Texans team is a spinning image, in my opinion, minus a rookie as a veteran head coach. Last year's Texans is this year's Broncos. Rookie quarterback, got them into the playoffs, strong defense. This year, they went out and spent money. Diggs got hurt, Mixon, the star running back. And what happened, Kurt? They're looking bad, like you just said. Be careful what you say about getting all these big name players next year. You don't want it to ruin a team. All right, be careful.
That's
all right,
good,
you got chemistry right now. Get a couple players that you need, but don't go overboard.
You
may be this year's Texans next year.
That's something with I feel like the Knicks had to be very conscious of, our New York Knicks, not to throw them into the mix there.
Right.
Kurt, Eddie Murphy is accusing you of being a flip flopper. Love it.
I love how he calls you out. You don't wear flip flops.
Trevor saying if Bo Nix continues to have to throw the ball 40 times a game without a running game, he isn't going to be set up to succeed in the long term. So he's got to commit to Bo to the run game, right? Again, so that's one of my favorite coaching terms is that I used to say to my players was always set yourself up for, I will try to set you up for success. You have to try to set your teammates up for success. So Trevor, I couldn't agree more with that. Well said. And Wayne saying a little off topic, but I got to get this one in here. Someone absolutely needs to take Kansas City out. I do not want to see them win 3 in a row. Super Bowl, please, football gods, no more.
I think that's going to happen.
I'll give you 2 teams that'll do it. You gave me one, Kurt. Tell our audience who the one was today.
I'm telling you right now, the one is the team we're playing on Saturday, because if the Cincinnati Bengals ever get in there, the Cincinnati Bengals, they have no respect for the Kansas City Chiefs. They have no fear of the Kansas City Chiefs. They beat them 2 years ago in the postseason. 3 years ago. 2 years ago, they got absolutely screwed and hosed on a penalty against Mahomes. I'm telling you, it's why Kansas City, if I'm Kansas City, there's no shot I want Cincinnati in that playoffs. You know what? Let Denver get in. Let Miami get in. Cincinnati, I want no part of them.
I'm going to give you the other one, Kurt, I thought about today. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year. Watch out for the Chargers.
Okay.
Defense in the cold weather. I know it's LA, but they'll come and play defense in the cold.
Okay. Like it.
So Kurt, are you done with your what Bo Nix needs to do these last 2 games?
Jen, listen, again, you are this team. Okay. I will say it again. This team is quote unquote built on, we are a defensive first team, right? We're a top 5 defense, everybody says. I mean, you have a rookie quarterback. Right, we have a rookie quarterback. Trevor's just saying that we don't want him throwing it 40 times. Like, you don't win like that with a rookie quarterback. No rookie quarterbacks win like that. When people go, well, look what Brady did. Brady handed the ball. Brady said, "Go ahead, defense. I'll make 2-3 plays." Look at the stats when Brady was playing that year. They won the Super Bowl. His first couple years, but his rookie year, that's a top 5 defense. But you had a great coach leading that defense. That's what they did, Jake. Don't make mistakes. We'll run it, make a couple big 3rd downs, and let the defense win the game. Jen, this is what just irates me. I don't care on Saturday or going forward postseason when we get there. In the second half, especially in the 4th quarter, agree or disagree. If I am giving you, if my rookie quarterback and this offense is giving you, here's a 4-point lead. that's on you to close it out. You're a top 5 defense. I'm sorry.
Well, you know,
You
I
are
do
a
agree
top
with
5.
you.
What we should do, think about it. If you have a top 5 defense and I have a 3-point lead, okay? Hand it off, hand it off, hand it off, punt it, defense, go bring it home. Like, but it's like now, what did Sean Payton do? Like, why should he have to do anything with a top 5 defense? He should do nothing. Punt
Well,
it.
you're also
Kurt, yeah, sorry, John.
you're contradicting yourself a little bit, because you're saying how Sean Payton's getting away from the run game, right? So he should be also committing to the run, especially in that situation, right? I mean, so it's got to be both. Both
Well,
have to
let me
be
ask
working
you
in
something.
tandem.
Do you
But wait,
think
hold on, hold
Sean
on, hold on,
Payton?
hold
Okay,
on,
go ahead.
hold on. Let me finish. But I do agree with you, especially at this point in the season. That's the other thing. And the situation you guys are in, like, you've said it these past 2 weeks, these are like playoff type games. Each week you've said this is perhaps the most important game since their Super Bowl in 2015. So I think that's, to me, what's most disappointing about, like, not rising to the occasion too. Whether it's the planning on Vance Joseph's part or the play of the players. Michael's making a great point. He's noting the 100-yard discrepancy when Moss is in versus when Moss is out. So that's a big loss.
That's a
So
lot. That's a lot.
hopefully, yeah. So but go ahead, Kurt. What were you gonna say?
But see, that's my point, though. It's like certain teams are built on that, right? Like, you look at any sport, but like a football, like a football sport, like, you can't expect like Bo Nix. And again, I love Bo Nix, and I think Bo Nix is the guy. He is a franchise quarterback. But, like, there's certain teams, like, I want the prime example. Like, if I'm Baltimore, I want to be on offense late, right? Like, I want the ball in Lamar's hands. Like, I don't want to leave it to my defense, right? Like, if I'm Kansas City, again, Kansas City's kind of a little weird because Kansas City's defense really isn't talented and good. It's just they got a great defensive coordinator, right? Spagnuolo's so good, he's going to come up with a plan. But again, like, even there, like, here, Buffalo's a prime example. Buffalo, listen, 4th and 5, I'm going to Super Bowl. No, there is no shot I'm punting the ball. No shot. That ball is in Josh Allen's hands. I am living and going down with him making the first down, because I am not going to punt it and let that defense ruin it for me. Same thing with Detroit. I'm not going to have Detroit say to me, let's let their defense roll. This Denver team should be going and saying, I'm not putting it on the offense and the rookie. Jen, we had an 11-point lead twice. And
Kurt, Kenny had wanted to make a point.
I'm glad he said 11-point lead twice. That's what I was waiting for. Kurt, you're contradicting yourself, like Jen said. You've coached offense at high school level, at peewee level. You have an 11-point lead. What's your game plan with an 11-point lead? You're going to your quarterback and saying, we're going to run the ball. You're going to your offensive line. We're going to run the ball. 3rd and short, we'll get the first down. We're going to have a nice long drive here, right?
Yep.
Well, Peyton did the opposite. And what happened? 2 3 and outs. Your defense is back on the field. Your defense gets worn out, Kurt. You've played both sides of the ball. You're on the field quick. It's not good for a defense. I was probably one of the only people who watched the bowl game yesterday because I was at work and listened to the game. I said, listen to the game for those watching.
Oh, there you go, Jen. There you go.
Listen to the game. South Florida, hurry up offense the whole game. That defense was worn out in the 4th quarter. The game went to like 5 overtimes. But the point I'm making is you're giving too much leeway for Peyton, and you're blaming everything on Vance Joseph. Peyton needs a little blame of this also, Kurt. That's the point I want to make.
Of course, I'm not saying you should.
You're not making it sound like Peyton's had any blame here. You're putting all the blame on Joseph. You want him fired if they have a bad performance on Saturday. If Peyton has a bad performance on Saturday, you should want him out too. Right or wrong?
No, because I've seen this movie, Jen. How many? Look back when he was the head coach. 3-point lead, 4-point lead. Up, here we go. That tie game. Up, go down the field, kick a field goal, lose the game. Oh, but they lost 24-21. Yeah, but we lost. Our defense lost. I'm sorry. There's identities. There's teams. You just with a rookie quarterback. I don't want to hear. Well, Bo Nix missed. Yeah. Well, maybe we could have scored 40, but you can't look at it like that. Whatever the case is Jen, agree with this with me. You gave this guy an 11. You gave him in the defense a top 5 defense. A top 5. That's all I keep hearing. We're a top 5 defense. We're a top 5 defense. Bullshit. We are not a top 5. That is not a top 5 defense performance. Against the Browns is not a top 5 defense performance. Against the Colts is not a. We don't win that game if Jonathan Taylor drops the football. We don't. Now you're down 20-7.
I don't think it's fair to judge Vance Joseph this season on the job he did as a head coach a few years ago. I agree with you. That was an abomination. But I feel like it took a lot for him to come back here. And the fact that they even invited him to come back speaks volumes. And I think that he's done, you were on the Vance Joseph bandwagon. Kenny mentioned a few of the key moments of this season where he's done a good job, where you sang his praises. So you're down on him this week in true Kurt fashion, right? You're on a ranch. He's your scapegoat. You want him gone, so like you fire one person has a bad performance, you want him gone the next week,
well,
that's
I'm just going to say
Kurt
that.
Valenti. So you know what? I'm rooting for Vance Joseph.
And I'm keeping him.
Listen, you, Jen, Kenny, Eddie Murphy, you could say I'm a flip-flopper or not. 9:51 on December 26th. I am saying this right now. The Cincinnati game, the Kansas City game, and the postseason games, if and when we get in, okay? You will never hear these words from me. Sean Payton should have punted, because Sean Payton shouldn't have gone for it, because I cannot put these games in the hands of Vance Joseph.
Kurt, I got to get these comments in because they kind of go with what you're saying here. Peter checking in, and I love his comment. He's saying most of the successful teams go for it on 4th down because that's their identity. But he points out that your offense has no identity, right? They don't. He's right. Against the Chiefs, Peyton had the opportunity to stick the knife in, but he was conservative, and we lost. Let the offense and Bo build an identity and be aggressive. And Trevor saying that in 2 years of Peyton's offense, there hasn't been one Bronco running back that has rushed for 100 yards in a single game. So here you are ranting on Vance Joseph. But you know what? We can toggle back. Here's Wayne's got your back. Vance Joseph is overrated. I'm not disagreeing with that. Oh, I put the wrong one up there. Did it come up? Vance Joseph is overrated.
Yeah.
But I could see I don't disagree that he's overrated, but I don't think, I think you're a little critical of him, and I think it stems from his time as head coach.
Let's go back to the 100-yard game, right? And we sit there and, that's going whatever. But, I mean, I'll ask both of you guys. Like next year, if you are any team, Jen, if I said to you, Javonte Williams is going to be your number 1 running back, yes or no?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Whatever team you are next year, if I said to you, hey, you're running back next year, I'm the general manager. Jen, I can get Javonte Williams as our number 1 running back next year. No. Yes or no?
No.
Kenny, yes or no?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Jaleel McLaughlin, Jen, if I said you could be his number 1 running back.
No.
Next year. Okay. Kenny.
No.
Okay. Estime.
No.
Kenny.
I'm with Jen. No.
Okay. So who we have to get 100 yards. I mean,
well, that doesn't mean it automatically becomes the defense's job to clean up the mess every game.
There comes a time too, and Sean Payton has not been perfect. He hasn't. But comes time, I'm going to say this as an experience as an offensive play caller, when it's 2nd and 3 and 3rd and 2, and it's you hand the ball to your running back, and football's all about, again, I could block everything up, but sometimes it's going to be me versus Kenny, and I have to make a move past Kenny to get the yard. That's just the way the scheme works. And if it's every time Kenny tackles me How many more times can you go to me and say, all right, we're going to give it to Kurt on 3rd and 1? I mean, why would you do it? Do something else. It's not going to work.
Why are you so easily giving an out to a lack of talent in the running backs when you have a lack of depth on defense and you're a player down? I mean, like it works both ways. It works both ways.
But now you're going depth into like what my starters are. And you know what? Everybody's hurt. The Kansas City Chiefs didn't have Chris Jones yesterday. What did the Steelers do?
It's part of it. And you know what? Sometimes you're going to lose. You're not undefeated, right? Sometimes you're going to lose.
Jen, if I may, real quick, just put Kurt on the spot real quick. He rants about, and I'll let you get to the comments because I see a couple good ones. You talk about Sean Payton, Kurt. All right, 11-point leads. I had to go back and make sure I did the math right. Estime ran the ball 9 times for 48 yards with a touchdown. That's a 5-yard average, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't he stick with it with 2 11-point leads? Stick with Estime. That's your $20 million head coach going off the game plan, but let's blame Vance Joseph. Your other running backs weren't even close to 9 rushes. That's the problem when he's out there at halftime saying we got to run the ball. And he's got it on his plate. He's got it on that big menu of his play calling sheet. Yeah. All right. But now you don't want to rant about Sean Payton, but you want to rant about Vance Joseph.
Listen to me. I want him to run the ball. You know me. I'm the biggest guy about run the ball.
Let me get a few of these comments in. I think Jody was saying yes on Estime as number 1 running back. First of all, I got to throw up Wayne's comment because this was you and I. We used to laugh about this all the time, Kurt. Vance Joseph, after post-game press conference, I don't know, we had a great practice. Right? But Trevor Kenny is saying
Iverson practice?
Yeah. The Broncos are paying Sean Payton $20 million a year, and his offense has been inconsistent at times. Denver's defense has been a big reason why they are even in playoff contention, right? And Peter saying the 70-point pounding by Miami, which was last year, hurt Vance a lot. He's done a great job with a lot of players that nobody outside this franchise knew this season. Nick Bonito was a situational pass rusher last season, and now he's a candidate for defensive MVP. Vance Joseph deserves a lot of credit for this team being a playoff contender.
Well said, Peter.
Yeah, and then Michael reminding you as well that the penalty, you know what, this comment, and we talk about, if one of the plays we talked about in last week's game goes a different way and favors the Broncos, you're in the playoffs. We're not even having this discussion, right? It's like we talk about even our high school show, Kurt, like what's the big play going to be, right? That you're going to make, right? And the penalty on special teams cost the Broncos the NFL game against the Chargers with the free kick field goal.
Well, but also his defense was undisciplined, right? And had 2 and not had 2 penalties. So again, you know what? Either coach it, or you know what? If it happens and you keep letting it happen, shame on you. Get his ass off the field if he's going to do it. But let me throw this at you two guys now, okay? Because you know what? The past is the past. We don't want to talk about him as head coach. We don't want to talk about 70 points in Miami. We don't even want to talk about the Chargers anymore. It's over. It's done. So let me ask you something, Jen. Playoff atmosphere. Winning in. Bengals need to win. We win, we're in. Bengals need help going in. Saturday afternoon, 4:30, in the rain. Let's just talk about defensively. What would you be happy with if my number's 20? If I'm a top 5 defense, Trevor just said the defense is the reason why we're in the playoff hunt. Anything, I want them 20 or under. That's what a top 5 defense does on the road. Go ahead, Jen, give me a number.
In this game against Cincinnati, on the road,
in the rain.
And even though the rain, and it's Joe Burrow, he's home. It's a big, I'm going to go 24.
So if it's 24, then anything more than if we can't get 23 or more, that's on Sean Payton. 24 or more, it's on Vance. That's what you're saying?
20. I think I'm looking at it a little bit differently. I'm not necessarily saying it that way. I'm saying that I think that it's reasonable to expect them. I think 24 is a reasonable number to say my defense can hold them to 24. Like you're expecting to get pounded.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm expecting to give up 38. easily 38
Right,
this
right.
week,
So I'm
easily.
thinking if that's what you're expecting, I think 24 is a reasonable
Right.
number. Yeah, your offense has to score 25.
Okay. That's listen to me. I'm signing up for it. I'm signing up for it. Kenny.
I'm with you, 20, and you know what? I'm going even less because if it's raining, I'm on the 24 if it's nice weather, but in the rain, it's going to be under 20. And you know what? When your Broncos defense keeps the Bengals in the teens, you better hope your offense wins the game because that's what's going to happen on Saturday. It's going to be in the teens because it's supposed to be a very sloppy.
Well, I'll tell you
field.
this. Well, I'll tell you this.
And that has me worried as a Bronco fan. We'll get into that, I know, at the end with predictions.
Jen, I'll tell you this, Jen. Am I a man of my word?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you this. If Kenny's saying this game's in the teens and we hold them defensively to the teens and we don't win that game, I will be on Saturday night ripping the blank out of Sean Payton. If that's
and I want to be on with you.
Okay? If that's the case.
It will. If it's pouring raining like the Jets game, this game will be in the teens. And it's
Wayne is saying the defense shouldn't give up more than 17 points, right? And Jody's saying if you hold the Bengals to 20, you better win.
But Jen, if we're top 5, I mean, shouldn't it be 20?
You know what, Kurt? I don't buy it. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that stuff. Like, I don't buy into that crap. We're a top 5 defense. Like you said, stats, like that's the same thing.
We're not a top 5 defense.
You know what? I can't buy into that stuff. You know, I have a hard time using that. Like, yeah, because I'm sorry. I agree that you are not.
Well, let me ask Jen. Well, Jen, hold on for this one. And you can give me a thumbs up too, but I'm going to put Kenny right on the spot. Right now, Kenny, your life depended on it. Your life depended on you need one stop. You're up 2 points. You're up 2 points. Are there 5? Are the Denver Broncos one of the 5 teams you're going to put your life on the line with having to make a stop?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. You have 2 players in the hunt for Defensive Player of the Year, Benito and Surtain. So yes, I'm going to take the best players that I can. I don't think there's too many teams in the NFL that have 2 Defensive Player of the Year candidates. So yeah, I will put them in there and hope that one of those 2 guys can make that play for me.
Jen?
I'm with you, Kenny, but for a little bit different reason. I don't think you're maybe a top 5 defense, but I don't think you're a bottom of the barrel defense. And this is the NFL. And if your defensive unit can't take you through that and win that game for you, then you know what? You don't deserve to win. Because where are you going? Where are you going?
Okay. Go see. Look.
Yes, spend the house and rely on Moss and PS2 to get it done.
That's it.
Yeah.
This is what Jen. I'm telling you, you've witnessed me in a Nick playoff game, right? How am I?
An absolute lunatic.
I'm a lunatic, right? I am gonna be a lunatic times 2 if I see Jamar Chase running past Mathis and those guys, and I'm gonna be a lunatic because Peter just said it. Kenny just said it. I want Pat Surtain on Jamar Chase. I want Riley Moss on T. Higgins.
T. Higgins is out.
He's out.
I think he's gonna.
Michael just said T. Higgins is out. Now Kurt better go on more of a rant.
No, I still think well, listen to me. Hopefully he is out, but I don't know. I don't know if they made that official. But
Michael's reporting it that he is out. So
what I'm saying,
and Wayne has got your back tonight, Kurt. He's saying I'm right there with Kurt. I'm a madman.
Right. This is the thing, Jen, because
or a madman, I guess.
People are going to coach, right? Like they've always said this. Like our head coach Mike Sheridan is like the other team's going to coach it up too, right? He's going to try to get Jamar Chase not with Pat Surtain.
Of course.
So don't be like, well, we were confused and we didn't expect.
You got to have a plan.
Expect everything. My point is, I'm going to lose my mind if I just see Jamar Chase streaking down the field and Pat Surtain on the other side of the field. I'm just going to go absolutely nuts.
Wayne is confirming he heard Higgins is out too.
Okay.
So
That's
we'll
big.
see. We'll see
That's
for
big.
sure. But Kurt, Kenny, I have to bow out right now. So boys, it was very nice to do this with you. Audience, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Thank you for your comments, the audience interaction, and go Broncos.
All right, Jen, Kenny, we're going to stay for another 5 because we're a little 5 out. Jen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jen.
Appreciate it.
Wait, can we get Jen's prediction for
give me
Saturday?
a prediction, Jen.
You really want my prediction?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I'm going to go Bengals 24-6. Sorry. Bye-bye.
Okay.
That's my. Oh, that's a. Woo.
That's fine.
Oh.
So let's read the
You want me to
comment.
do the comments, Kurt?
Yeah,
Or you
do the
want to
comment. We'll go
All right.
another 5. We started a little late, so let's go at least another 5.
All right, I'll hit a couple comments that just came up. Michael saying the Broncos is going to win against the Bengals. Riley Moss is playing and going to have a pick 6 against Burrow. Trevor saying Broncos offense has to be able to keep Burrow off the field. If Denver's offense can't move the ball, it's going to put the defense in a tough spot. Broncos have to win the time of possession. That's a big part of getting the win. I agree with that. Wayne saying enjoy your night, Jen. Happy New Year. And then we got a new face, Joe Smo. Kurt, I got to say on YouTube, thanks, Joe, for listening and watching.
Joe.
Kurt, I got to say, the Bengals win this game from pure determination because if they win, they have a good chance at the playoffs. And Joe Burrow in the playoffs is a scary man.
Kenny, I'm telling you.
You just said, Joe, Kurt said earlier that if the Bengals get in, they're the one team that can beat the Chiefs.
Absolutely, they can.
That the Chiefs should be scared to play.
Let me ask you something, Kenny. Would you rather play the Baltimore Ravens or would you rather play the Cincinnati Bengals if you're the Chiefs?
The Ravens, because we've seen the Lamar Jackson script in the playoffs, and they're idiot. You've been ranting on Vance Joseph. How about Vance Joseph and Todd Monken on the same coaching staff, Kurt? How would that team look?
Oh my God. They ran the ball 46 times yesterday, and it was like taking candy from a baby. How did Baltimore not do that the rest of the season? Like ever?
They won't do it next week against Cleveland. They'll throw the ball 50.
They'll throw 60 times
and lose, and the Steelers will get the division.
Yeah. So
Zoli, what's up, Zoli? Zoli's saying 24-21 Denver. He's giving us a prediction, not with the utmost confidence, but if Higgins is out and Moss is back, we can get that defense humming a bit again. Let's go. And Jody's saying, damn, if we score only 6, Peyton is in trouble, to Jen's prediction. All right, Kurt, back to you. You want to finish up with some predictions on the game? Or
yeah, listen, I'm going to be honest. I am I'm petrified about Saturday. The nice thing is we're home next week against Kansas City. If it gets to it, I don't even care if these guys play, they don't play. It doesn't matter. We're home. So it's like if this was the end of the year and it was winner get in or loser go home, zero confidence. I'm afraid that this thing can get out of hand early because I don't have faith. I don't have faith with Vance Joseph and the defense. Talon Long. I mean, you mentioned it. 2 defensive players of the year. I mean, I'd like to coach 2 defensive players of the year, right? Lock them up, do this, but we just don't do that. We don't do that. And I'm just petrified. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm going to tell you, and I mean this when I say this, just do not, like Sean Payton, from this game, the Kansas City game, the playoff game, 4th down, do not put the ball in this defense's hands. Do not put the ball in Vance Joseph's hands. You got to go for it. Listen, you're Sean Payton. That's why you're Sean Payton. That's why we give you $20 million. Don't punt it. You're never going to hear from me. You should have punted and played defense. Absolutely not. Go for it. You and Bo Nix are the chance of how we're going to win these games, not with our defense. I'm sorry. We gave up. We still can't stop Jameis Winston. The Colts, we really couldn't stop. And last week was an absolute disaster, giving up 2 11-point leads. So no confidence. I think this is going to come down to week 18. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I see Joe Burrow going nuts. And the only saving grace is this weather. Hopefully that can help. But listen, Vance, defense, please make me look stupid. But I just don't have that feeling this week. I could be wrong, and hopefully I'm wrong, Kenny, but I'm taking Cincinnati. I think we give up 30. I think we give up 38 points this week. I really do. I think the dam's open. I think it's again, listen, can we win? We might have to win 41-38. I don't have the confidence. If this team plays like they did defensively Thursday night, he'll put up more than 40 on us. So till
Wow.
that.
Okay, I'm going to get some score. Hello from Roy. Roy's saying, hey there, guys. I'm way late. Have to take care of stuff. What's up, Roy? Thanks for tuning in. Let me get a couple scores. Wayne, 19-17 Broncos. I think that's the first time he's disagreed with you tonight. So he's picking the Broncos. Peter, if Peter's prediction's right, Kurt, you will be on Saturday ranting about Sean Payton. I'm really concerned. Smoking Joe in a big game is a worry. Bengals 17-6. Roy saying, I hope I'm wrong as well, but I see a Bengals win. I'm going to give you my prediction, really quick, Kurt, and then Joe's a new listener, so I want to get his question and to wrap up the show. I'm going to do what you usually do. I'm going to give two different scenario predictions. Right now, they're saying it's supposed to be a sloppy field. We've seen that sloppy field earlier in the season against the Jets. You want an ugly 10-9 ball game. Bo Nix struggled throwing the ball. If that's the case, 20-13 Bengals. I think the Broncos are going to struggle because they haven't run the ball all year. How are you going to run the ball in the rain if you can't run the ball in good weather? I think if you're a Broncos fan, you want a clear field. You want a dry field. You don't want rain. You don't want wetness. If that's the case, Bronco fans are going to be very happy. Kurt's going to be very happy. I got a 24-21 victory by the Broncos if the weather's clear on Saturday, no rain. Doesn't have to be clear, just no rain. I don't want that downpour that we saw against the Jets. Then the Broncos are in trouble, in my opinion. The Bengals will make a few more plays than the Broncos, but let's hope for a clear field. Broncos get the win. Kurt, I want a couple more. Roy going 31-21 Bengals. And Wayne saying, Kurt, defense gives up that much. VJ's fired on Sunday. Jody saying, Sean, if you're going to get 5 yards of carry, run the damn ball. Michael, Bo Nix was pissed about Jeff Saturday comments on First Take and ready to torture Jeff Saturday's comments on First Take and ready to torture the Bengals defense. Let's get Joe's question to wrap up the show, Kurt.
Okay.
I just want you to answer it. He wants us both to think how Chase versus Bertan will go. I think it's going to be really good, Joe. I hope the weather's clear because I want to see that matchup. I'd say Chase gets about 7 for 70, but Surtain keeps him out of the end zone. Kurt, I'll let you do more of the commentary. You're the Bronco fan. Let me know. Let Joe know and the audience know how you think it's going to go.
I think Chase will get like a couple like underneaths, right? Like so maybe a couple 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yard catches. So Surtain sometimes does give that up. I think Surtain shuts him down on the deep ball, any big plays. So I could see like 6, 7 catches, like you're saying, 60 yards. But I think like Surtain, like you got to sign up for that. I mean, this guy's had 150, 180 yard games. I mean, here's the thing, Joe and Kenny, I want to make sure it's Surtain on him. I don't feel confident that it's always going to be Surtain because I don't know if Vance is going to adjust to put Surtain on him all over the field. So
that's the key. You don't want Moss on him either because he's just coming off the injury too.
Why would I put Moss
this guy to get his confidence back? He's coming off the injury.
Why would we put Moss on him? We got the best corner in football. Shouldn't he be on him?
Right. Yeah, let Moss play Yosevich and the other guys. Get his confidence back, first game back, and get into the playoffs. I'll end this with Trevor, and then we'll get final thoughts, Kurt. T. Higgins showed up questionable on the Bengals report today. He doesn't believe he's been officially ruled out. Moss looking like he will play. That allows Surtain to match up with Chase full-time. Jody just wants to know, is there a difference not committing to the run and not being able to run the ball? I would say there is a big difference because a stubborn coach is going to go away from it. If you can't run the ball, you still got to attempt it, right, Kurt?
Absolutely.
You got to attempt it a little more.
And I will say this, right? I mean, now you're putting, again, I'm an offensive guy, but am I really going to go and say my season's going to be on the line with a rookie quarterback a rookie running back, a number 2
Yeah.
rookie receiver. You know what I mean? Like that's, and again, this isn't Sean hasn't been great. Sean hasn't been the Sean of New Orleans. He hasn't. Let's be realistic. But I'm also going to say Sean doesn't have like legit players in those positions. He really doesn't. It's very hard when you go and you say, okay, let's try to run it, and you're running it with second and third rate players, right? I mean, I could promise you this: if he had Alvin Kamara, he ain't running it 6 times. Like Alvin Kamara is getting 20, 25 carries. I mean, I'm not giving Javonte Williams, honestly, shouldn't get 3 more carries anymore, right? I mean, he shouldn't. McLaughlin, again, like he's like your speed breakaway back, but you ain't going to run him on 3rd and 1. And, Estime's the one guy. But again, like how much are you going to just go? I mean, listen, he looks like our best back, and, I don't have a problem, but I mean, we're just going to give Estime 30 carries. I mean,
No, but
that's hard to do. It's very hard to do where, it is.
But I will say, as bad as the Giants have been this year, they've committed to Tyrone Tracy, our 5th round running back, and he is running the ball double digits every game. All right. There's a time, I know we're in different situations. So if the Broncos were 2-15, going on a close to 2-15, 2-13, maybe Estime does get the ball 25 times a game. I don't know. And I always criticize Sean Payton, but I'd like to see what a different head coach would do with this Broncos roster. So I don't think there's too many coaches that would have a better record than what the Broncos have right now with Sean.
Right.
As critical as I am about Sean Payton, he's doing a pretty good job there this year.
Yeah, it's like you really look at it, and you cannot go and say a guy like Estime, a guy like Vele, a guy like Lucas Kroll, like we got to be realistic. Like they're not going to, you can't go into, all right, you're going to go into Buffalo and win that game. You're going to go into Baltimore. You're so out mismatched. It's the same thing. And I say this to Jen all the time. 4 years ago, we're in a playoff series and we're throwing out Reggie Bullock, Alfred Payton, Julius Randle, Norland's Noel. Like you're not going to win a championship with that. Like you're not going to beat Boston like that. Look at the difference now. Oh, you got Tatum, we got Towns, you got Brown, now it's like, let's go. Like talent, like as much as it comes down to talent. We don't have the talent. It's why this offseason, Kenny, we got to go shopping. We have to upgrade it running back. We have to upgrade it tight end. We have to upgrade it wide receiver. And when I mean upgrade, not taking a 4th round flyer from a guy from Toledo. No, that ain't going to work. You could get T. Higgins, get him. You can get Jamar Chase, get him. You can get McCaffrey, get him. You can get Kamara, get him. That's how you're going to speed up this thing and say, I'm going to compete, not by taking another 6th round running back and say, okay, in 3 years, he'll be able to pass block. I mean, I'll be honest, we don't have 3 years to wait. Nobody has 3 years to wait. You're on a rookie. I'll say it again. We're on a rookie quarterback deal. I want next year, the next 2 years, Kenny, should be the most talented team Bo Nix ever plays with, because you're paying him nothing. You have all this cap space. Go get the best players available. I'm just saying, if Jamar Chase is, I'm just going to throw this out there. Jamar Chase, the Bengals don't want to pay him. I'm giving him 2 number 1 seed, done deal, give him the contract. Now you got Jamar Chase and Bo Nix. You don't have to worry about that. I'm doing it. I don't care what we have to give. I don't care. I don't care. Alvin Kamara is available. Go make the trade. Well, Alvin Kamara is 30 and we have to pay him this amount. I don't care. That solves our running game. It's done. Solved. Running game solved. Yep. That's how you get it done. That's how you get it done. You don't get it done by, I'm going to take another 4th round running back. Well, he'll compete with Estime. Well, that's not going to get you anywhere. You're not going into Buffalo winning with those guys. You're not. You're not winning with Lucas Kroll as your tight end, Adam Troutman. You're not. You got to go get a legit quarterback. You just got, like you're saying, quarterback, it should be, obviously, I don't know if we're going to get the kid from Boise. That can't probably happen. We're going to be drafting too low. But 1st round draft pick, either a running back or a tight end, whatever one you do. If you get the tight end in the draft, go get a legit number 1 free agent in free agency, or trade for him. Get it. That's it.
A couple more comments, Kurt, and then we'll wrap it up. I wanted to, I know it's a Broncos show, but Wayne saying his wife's a Giants fan like me from Queens. She is pissed they let Barkley walk and go to Philly. Oh, yeah, we could tune into all of our Giants shows that Paul and I have on the network, and how bad that of a move that was. That's a move that gets you fired, Wayne, at the GM. So we'll see if he makes it through past the year. Denver's defense going to have to shut down Chase Brown, Kurt. He's another weapon Burrow has on that offense. Roy's saying we have average talent. Michael, Chase Brown has 900 rushing yards for the Bengals. And Wayne saying Sean Payton is on notice. Don't you think, Kurt, he got his quarterback? This team next year needs to reach the AFC Championship game at least. I think, the next year, that's a 3-year window. You got to get to the championship game, right?
Listen, is he down? I mean, is he wrong?
No.
He's not wrong.
No.
He's not wrong. You got your quarterback, but that's why we are open for business. When this season ends, Kenny, we are open for business. McCaffrey, Kamara, Chase, Higgins, any tight end that's on the offensive side. I'm not drafting a right tackle for two. I'm not. No. I want just receivers. I want tight ends, and I want running backs, and I want to spend every penny I have. I want to make this the most talented team. I want this to basically be the 49ers of the AFC, just like they did with Brock Purdy, McCaffrey, Samuel. Just keep getting guys. Boom, boom, boom. Just, hey, get them, sign them, trade for them, give up picks, go get them, sign your thing. Doesn't matter. Oh, Kamara, I don't care. I can promise you this. You want to run the ball? You're running the ball with Alvin Kamara. He's not getting 5-6 touches. And you're going to hit him and he'll be a third 3-down back. I don't care if he's 30. I don't care how much money he makes. Go get him. There's your number one running back. Running back solved. Everything you solve it. That's it. Solve it.
And 2 more, Kurt, and then we'll say goodnight to everybody. This from Trevor. This will have to be a big Nick Benito game on Saturday. D-line and edge rushers have to win their matchups up front. Joe saying, Kurt, you talked about the Bengals scoring 38 points. The Bengals are 2-4 when they score more than 30, Kurt.
It's a great stat.
That's a good stat, right?
That's a great stat.
I want to plug, we didn't plug them tonight, Kurt. I want to plug Denver Bronco Roundup. Joe, you're a new listener to us, so go check out our friends, Denver Bronco Roundup. Trevor, Albert said hello, by the way. I missed that comment.
Yep.
Albert saying hello. Keith Brugman, Rocky Mountain Sports Network, Denver Bronco Roundup. Those guys will be on tomorrow night, Joe, 9:30 Eastern time. I'm not sure what zone you're in. They do a great job. They're on 3 nights a week. Great Bronco podcast and great friends of ours, Joe. Go check them out. And Michael's saying 928 yards for Chase Brown. You're going to have to stop him. Stop him. That's another weapon. But let Burrow beat you. If Chase Brown beats you, I'm okay with that. Like you said, if Gesicki beats you, you tip your hat.
Tip your hat.
Jamar Chase beats you deep and beats Surtain one-on-one,
tip your hat.
You tip your hat.
Right.
Okay. But you want to go with your best against their best.
Yep.
You don't want
Josevich
beat, if Josevich beats you, it's great. You don't want Jamar Chase getting 200 yards because the Mathis is covering him and PS2's on Josevich.
Right.
I agree with you there. Wayne couldn't have said it better, Kurt. Our closing statement. Wayne, have a safe and happy New Year. See you all next year. Go Broncos.
Let's
Kurt,
go.
Closing statement for everybody. Want to say happy New Year to everybody. Thank you, the audience. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yeah, same thing, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody who celebrates anything else. Guys, have a happy New Year. I want to thank you, Kenny, for coming on as my guest. I want to thank Jen, of course, for doing everything. I know she has a lot going on, so she took some time to do it. I want to thank everybody in the audience. It was a great show again tonight. We do a great job every week, you guys. And I hope I'm wrong, man. I want to get to the postseason. Let's go. And, I'll be rooting, screaming and stuff like that. And I hope I'm wrong. But let's just get this thing done on Saturday.
And we'll get in touch with everybody. I think K&K, possibly Broncos, we might be doing Thursday because Wednesday will be New Year's Day. Or New Year's night. So we'll get in touch with everybody, but we'll probably be back on Thursday again next